All right, we're to the final phase of this illustrious quiz number one. We're going to do question 9. Question 9 was about a purchase, and in the particular type of purchase, it's telling you that Alaska acquired Mercantile's net assets, not the stock, but the net assets. That's a clue that it's not a stock purchase. If that doesn't make sense, I don't know what does. But what they did is they bought the net assets, and the net assets mean just that. They bought the assets, all the assets listed, unless told otherwise, and they took over the liabilities. Hence, net assets. Net assets minus liabilities, or assets minus liabilities equals net assets, and that's what they bought. So they didn't buy the stock, they didn't buy the retained earnings, they bought the assets minus liabilities. So what it means is that they assumed the liabilities along with the assets. They're going to pay the liabilities, and they're going to pay them at the fair value. So whatever that fair value is, let's take a look. Fair value of the accounts payable is there, fair value of the notes payable is there, and the fair value of all the assets they bought is here. That's what they bought, and the question is, did they buy any goodwill? And that can easily be done by taking the mathematics of what I've got labeled here and checked, the circle and the check marks. The math will work out that if you take a price of 160 and subtract the net assets off, you're going to be left with 17K unaccounted for. That's your goodwill. Then your entry simply becomes what I've circled and checked. You debit the circle for the cash, receivables, inventory, patents, buildings, and equipment net as I have it listed, which is at the fair value of 150. You debit all those accounts just like that, because that's what you bought. You bought equipment for 150, you bought patents for 40, inventory for 36, etc. And then you credit the check marks, the accounts payable and the notes payable. You'll be left with a credit to cash for 160, which is what they paid. You'll be out of balance by 17. That goes to a debit to goodwill to balance the entry, and you're done. It's sort of that simple. It's like going to the store with a basket. Oh, I'll have some cash, I'll have some receivables, I'll have some inventory, and then you figure out what are you paying for all that. And then part of what you pay for it is you agree to pay off the bills for the inventory. You agree to pay off a loan that they took, which was 55 and 80 respectively. So that's also what you're paying, and that becomes credits in the entry. And the result is you'll find that you're buying also 17 of goodwill included in the purchase price of 160. If you have any questions, you'll let me know.